All right, from 2017 to 2019, Kurt Volker was the U.S. Special Representative for Ukraine negotiations. He is also the former U.S. Ambassador to NATO. He joins us now with his unique perspective on Ukraine as the war is about to enter its second year. Sir, thank you so much for being here today. Really appreciate you joining us early. President Biden met with NATO leaders this week, as well as President Zelensky, and declared the U.S. commitment to Ukraine for as long as it takes. So who was that message for? The allies, members of Congress, or was it for Russians to hear and Vladimir Putin?
Well, there's multiple audiences, and the most important audience is the Ukrainians. There's always worry in Ukraine that the United States or Western allies will have some kind of fatigue, that we won't keep up the support for Ukraine, we'll push them to give away some of their territory. So that message of saying, we will be here, we will support you, that is very important for the Ukrainians. It's also, though, very important for the Russians. The Russians are determined to keep fighting, and they need to know, they need to start realizing it's never going to work. They're never going to win here. And the sooner they realize that, the sooner this war can end. So that's an important audience for that message as well.
Ambassador Volker, Ukraine has received billions of dollars in aid from the West, but in a recent article you wrote for the Center for European Policy Analysis, you criticized the timing of all the weapons and aid. Why do you think the timing is off?
Well, I think that we've been saying that we won't do something. We won't give them tanks. We won't give them Bradleys. We won't give them longer range artillery all along the way. And then we change our minds and we do it anyway. And there's this fear that if we give them something, it's going to cause Russia to escalate, attack a NATO country, or use nuclear weapons or something bigger. And the reality is Russia is already throwing everything it can at this conflict, and they're not winning. So our holding back is only delaying Ukraine's ability to defend itself, to protect its citizens, and to take its territory back. So we should be doing this much quicker and helping the Ukrainians push forward much sooner. We could have done a lot of the things that we're doing now last summer, and we're only getting to them now.
And the amount of casualties we've seen over the past year is immense. Both sides have suffered major casualties, but it's also affecting young Russian men, some even defecting to avoid the draft. What's the long-term impact on Russia if these levels of casualties continue to rise?
Well, this is an important point for the people of Russia to hear and to understand, that what Putin is doing is really setting the country back by generations. As you said, hundreds of thousands of people have fled Russia to avoid conscription into a military effort where they would surely be killed. Hundreds of thousands of others have casualties of the war, probably over 60,000 killed and 200,000 casualties total or more. That is a devastating impact on the young population of the country. It also, however, affects all of the families, all of the parents, and economically they are getting hit by sanctions. Europe has stopped buying Russian oil and gas, so the oil and gas revenues of the country, which were a big part of their GDP, that is down. So Putin has really done tremendous damage to the country that will take decades to recover from.
And there's some concern that Putin will get some more help from China because Chinese President Xi Jinping is planning a visit with Russian President Vladimir Putin, claiming they want a more active role in ending the conflict and that they want peace. Based on your experience in international affairs, what does China's idea of making peace happen in Ukraine actually look like?
Well, first off, I don't think they can succeed, at least not now, because Putin doesn't want peace. Putin has staked his personal legacy on taking Ukraine, and so he's not going to stop. So I don't think the Chinese can do it. But what the Chinese are trying to do, they are trying to supplant the United States in terms of international leadership, in terms of the image of a country that is trying to act constructively. We are leading the effort to support Ukraine, so they are positioning themselves as outside of the conflict, looking for a solution, and that's profiling for China internationally. That doesn't mean that China is going to then weigh in and give arms to Russia or play a part in the conflict. Quite the contrary. I don't believe that is in Chinese interests at all, and I don't think they think so. Their economic interests are tied to the U.S. and Europe. They want to be part of reconstruction in Ukraine, and they want to preserve their image as being reasonable when it comes to their desire to reabsorb Taiwan. as compared with what they see as unreasonable Russia's attacks and war crimes against Ukraine.
So you don't think they would provide lethal aid to Russia, as has been reported that they're considering doing?
I don't think so. We shouldn't ever rule it out, and I think it's good that we are talking about this publicly so that they are forced to confront that, but I don't think it's even in their own interest, so I don't think it's likely.
All right, Kurt Volker, former U.S. ambassador to NATO. Always a pleasure to have you on the show, sir. Thank you so much for coming on.
Pleasure to be here. Thank you.